After a year of failed policies that redefined California's reputation in 2024, with these fires in LA as the icing on the cake, residents are starting to wake up to the reality that is Gavin Newsom and the Democrat Party of California's failed leadership. But don't worry, because Jen Psaki has the public relations answer to this entire mess. Alex Jones. I think this explains the sentiment I'm hearing from a lot of everyday Californians.
Every year we know the Santa Ana winds are going to blow. Every year we know that there's going to be risk. So what is our governor doing to help stop the risk? Virtually nothing, other than showing up at press conferences and waving his arms around and having long practiced monologues about, oh, it's someone else's fault, this or that. So it's time for the governor to either bear down or get out of the way, because California keeps suffering. My county's up north, Carr Fire, Camp Fire, Dixie Fire, 1 million acres, and now it's hitting the constituents of Southern California.
You know, with the LA fires raging right now, everybody feels like this is old news, but I think this is important context, demonstrating how ubiquitous issues like these are across all realms of management under the priority system that the Democrat Party of California has been imposing with their supermajority in the state. From July 13th, 2024, assaults, robberies, and shoplifting skyrocketed in California as crime surge continues. California continued its rapid increase in assaults, robberies, car thefts, and shoplifting, with statewide data finding shoplifting increased 39% in 2023. Violent crimes overall rose with the purpose of inflicting severe or aggravated bodily injury. This realization that Californians were collectively coming to throughout 2024 is the backdrop in which these fires occurred in LA, which I think says a lot. Even Meet the Press had to call Gavin Newsom out on his failed leadership on national television.
Determined, and that the chips fall where they may. This is not about finger pointing.
You say what to people who insist that these independent investigations or calls for them? Are you passing the blame on to other people?
How could it be when we're doing an independent investigation and we just want the adjudication of the facts? As I say, it's not about finger pointing. It's about answering the questions you and everybody wants answered. And I think there's a propensity to wait to answer those questions, and people want immediacy. They want response and responsiveness.
But what he doesn't understand is that equates to taking personal responsibility and saying, hey, I'm the leader of this ship. I'm the one that's going to make it right. All right, that's what that means to most people that are watching this right now. And him trying to point the blame while he's doing some things that make sense. He's starting an investigation. He's pointing out the difference between state and local water reservoirs. He's acknowledging the issues, right? But at the same time, he's not acknowledging that he is the leader of this ship. And it's his job to make it right. Some personal responsibility would make him look like a leader right now. And that is where he's missing on the PR game, in my opinion.
Does the buck stop with you?
I mean, you're governor of California. You might as well be the mayor of California.
What the hell are you talking about, bro? Is this Gavin Newsom having a Joe Biden moment right now? This is not the move, dude.
We're all in this together. We're all better off. We're all better off. We're all better off, and we're working together to take care of people.
I don't know how he thinks he looks with answers like this, but when people's lives are in disarray as they are in an event like this, he should be a source of stability. Not saying, look to your neighbors to your left, look to your neighbors to your right. He should be saying, hey, look to me, I will hold us together, and we are going to get through this as a community with me as our backbone. That's what a leader does. You know what a leader doesn't do? Cut $100 million for fire prevention before the wildfires. Embattled California Governor Gavin Newsom slashed funding earmarked for fighting wildfires by more than $100 million this fiscal year, as a review of the state's budget found. The fiscal budget 2025, signed in June, eliminated $101 million from 7 wildfire and forest resilience programs, according to Newsweek. This included a $5 million budget cut from the Cal Fire's now $129 million budget for fuel reduction teams, including funds used by the state's National Guard for vegetation management work aimed at reducing threats of fires, igniting and spreading. Remember just before these wildfires how California was so excited that it balanced its budget? Is this how? Is cuts like this how they managed to balance their budget? And I know that this was a proposal for the budget for 2025 into 2026, but man, is it not striking that this was in the headlines right before these wildfires. And then now, during these wildfires, we are finding out about how they cut $100 million for prevention and preparedness. They're starting to call out the mayor, too.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
What a psychopath. And you see that lady try to come in from the left like she's trying to protect something? Like, lady, what? You guys are the ones hurting people. You have to answer for it. What is wrong with you?
Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
Eviscerated. And she has to walk straight towards the dude. And when she did respond, she was cheesing like she's some sort of crazy lady.
Angelinos, we're still going through it. And to any of you and all of you that have experienced a loss, the grief, the anger, the just utter shock, I've seen the devastation. It is unbelievable the amount of loss that people have experienced.
She looks like that 90s Joker or something, man. It's wild. Over 100,000 have signed a petition demanding this mayor, Karen Bass, resign over her fire response. They're getting called out by the LA Fire Department chief. You guys gotta hear how this fire chief absolutely admonishes city management over their complete lack of prioritization of city preparedness for things like this.
The chief of the Los Angeles City Fire Department, Kristen Crowley, thank you for talking to us today. And we're just going to get straight to the nitty-gritty. You sent a memo, a scathing memo to the Board of Fire Commissioners where you expressed your concern that you were not going to be able to do your job. Your firefighters would not be able to respond adequately to a major emergency like a wildfire, like what we're seeing right now. Was the budget cut, Chief?
Yes, it was cut. And it did impact our ability to provide service. So I'm going to even go back further than that. Since day one, we've identified huge gaps in regard to our service delivery and our ability from our firefighters, boots on the ground, to do their jobs. Since day one, this is my third budget as we're going into 25-26. What I can tell you is we are still understaffed, we're still under-resourced, and we're still underfunded.
A Change.org petition demanding the resignation of Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has surpassed 100,000 signatures as wildfires continue to devastate Southern California. Started by a user identified as Frustrated Californian, the petition accuses Bass of gross mismanagement and a lack of leadership under the crisis. The petition points to Bass's diplomatic trip to Ghana, which left her out of the country when the fires erupted. It also criticized the city's preparation and resource allocation, including water shortages and underfunding of emergency services. Families have been displaced, homes destroyed, and livelihoods shattered. Yet Mayor Bass has been absent from the front lines, the petition reads. This Mayor Bass tried to defend the budget cuts, claiming they had nothing to do with the city's response, but we just heard the fire chief concretely disagree with that. But you know what? Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom have nothing to worry about, because Jen Psaki has the perfect public relations 4D move that is going to pull them straight out of this mess.
Musk also amplified a post this week from conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Yes, that guy. He's still around. Alex Jones wrote that Los Angeles fires are part of a larger globalist plot to wage economic warfare and deindustrialize the United States before triggering total collapse. I mean, not sure that guy's okay. Musk responded to that post by writing, true. Yes, just to repeat here. That's just the richest man in the world and the best friend of the incoming president confirming to his 200 million followers that he thinks the devastating wildfires are a part of a globalist.
Sorry, lady, but I don't think screaming Alex Jones is going to distract from the fact that Mayor Bass was in Ghana on Tuesday when the fires broke out. She was forced to return and has faced probing questions about her role in disaster preparedness. Bass cut $20 million from the city's budget for fire services this year. It's reckoned that the fires alone will cost in excess of 150 billion, making them one of the costliest natural disasters in American history. It's the most confusing thing in the world to me, how these people think that dodging reporters, looking away, blaming other people, yelling Alex Jones in a crowded theater, not taking personal responsibility, and all of this stuff somehow is gonna work at maintaining public support, because it obviously is not. Yo guys, Alvin Bragg's House of Cards is collapsing right now. Check it out up here. We do a deep dive into the policies that led to the severity of the wildfires right here, guys. Check it out. The policy nuances of this whole mess go deep. It's pretty wild what the Democrats have done with their supermajority in California. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'll see you on the next episode.